Merry Christmas. Oh, what the hell?
Gobble, 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 sir. Excuse me, Santa Claus. You forgot about one holiday in between.
What are you talking about? Why is there a talking turkey in my recording studio and I'm not Santa Claus? I'm not that fat.
Regardless, you were playing Santa Claus. Don't you remember that there is actually a holiday between Halloween and Christmas time?
Yeah, I mean, sure, Thanksgiving. It's there. A lot of people kind of forget about it. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's there.
Then don't say ho, ho, ho yet. Gobble, 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 gobble. It's the week of Thanksgiving, sir.
All right, geez, you didn't have to hit me like that. The nerve of some people. And how did he even get in here? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Home Media Reviews, our mini-series for 2023. It's been a while since a recent installment of regular Home Media Reviews, and let me tell you, I am glad to be back. I would say I was in the Christmas holiday spirit, but I can't because it's the week of Thanksgiving that this video is coming out. So yeah, I'm in the Thanksgiving spirit now. I'm feeling thankful. Very thankful, especially for this year on the Lego Lover 117 YouTube channel. This year has been, wow, stupendous. We're not here to talk about that, though. We're here to talk about an obscure comedy film from 2015 to kick off our mini-series for 2023. And just like in this show's sister series, Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews, I do have a tasty beverage to record with. This time around, good old classic Mountain Dew. Tastes like citric acid. Lovely. Did I say the title of the film? I don't think I did. It's Daddy's Home, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. And when I say this is obscure, I mean not a lot of people know about this film. We'll talk about that later on, though. With all that being said, let's jump right into the history section of Daddy's Home. That title is going to be so difficult for me to say throughout this entire recording, I can already feel it. So Daddy's Home hit theaters on, funny enough, December 25th, 2015, here in the United States. There was a fact on Wikipedia that I wrote down here. It was actually released on December 9th over in London. So all you people across the pond got to watch this movie a few weeks earlier than we Yanks did. I saw this in theaters, but I did not see it Christmas weekend. I didn't see it opening day. I think I saw it after the new year hit, because it was still in theaters. My parents were wanting to go see a movie. They thought this looked like fun, so we went and saw it in the movie theater. But I swear it was in like 2016 or something, because I always thought this movie was a 2016 film. It's not. It came out the tail end of 2015. This next part surprises me, okay? This movie had a budget of $50 million, all right? Chump change compared to some of these big superhero blockbusters nowadays, but a relatively smaller budgeted film. This thing made over $240 million at the box office, globally. What? For a movie that no one talks about now, and is relatively forgotten, it made a shit ton at the box office. That is an amazing return on investment. That's over $100 million in just profit. The movie then hit physical media, that being DVD and Blu-ray, on March 22nd, 2016. And I believe 2016 was when I picked this up on, maybe it was the next year, 2017. I remember picking this movie up on Blu-ray on a Black Friday sale. Can't remember if it was 2016 or 2017, but I definitely picked it up for a Black Friday sale. You can go watch my old Black Friday haul videos from 2016 or 2017 to tell me whether or not I got it then. Hell, maybe I got it in 2018. I don't remember. This only got one exclusive variant. It was a Walmart exclusive variant, and it came with an inflatable ball. But wait, there's more. There's actually $15 off a sports ticket through Ticketmaster that's included in this release. So if you don't want a shitty blow-up ball, you $15 off of a sports match or something. I'm not a sports fan, so I did not bother with that, but hey, if you are, this would have been a good value for you. And you get a bonus little ball to kick around in the parking lot. We have one more release of this movie to talk about. February 20th, 2018. Daddy's Home got a fucking 4K release. They put this on 4K. Paramount Pictures, all right, the studio that made this movie, took the time and effort to put this on a 4K disc, meaning there was a 4K master of this that existed, and they took the time and effort to put it on a 4K disc, make artwork for it, produce cases and discs, and ship it out there so people could watch Daddy's Home on 4K. Here's a comparison, okay? James Cameron's films True Lies and The Abyss. Both of those films have been stuck on the DVD format for years at this point. Decades, even. And it just got announced a few days ago from when I'm recording this video that they're getting not only a Blu-ray, but a 4K release as well. Those movies were gigantic crowd pleasers. Well, True Lies was. The Abyss, not so much. Not a lot of people like that movie. I thought it was fine, but True Lies is definitely better. My point is, those took decades to come to that format. Daddy's Home? 2 years. 2 fucking years. And they put that shit out on 4K. Oh, it's a cruel and unjust world that we live in. Cruel and unjust. Oh, I lied to you. There's also a Blu-ray 2-pack with the second Daddy's Home film that came out on February 20th, 2018. That one's not as significant as the 4K, though, because of just how crazy it is that exists. I kind of want to track down the 4K of this now, just because I know it exists. I know it's out there. It probably didn't have a large production run, so there's probably not a lot of them out on the secondary market right now. But a small part of me wants to track this down and find it and just see if it's any good. Anyway, folks, that wraps up your history section. Let's move right along to the Alrighty, everyone. Here's your close-up look at Daddy's Home. Such a weird title for a movie, and a title that I really can't say very well. Anyway, let's move right along here. We have the Blu-ray disc label up there at the top. Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital HD are 2 stars, and then the film's logo. And there are 2 stars right there, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. It's dad versus stepdad. Hilarious and heartwarming, says Tara McNamara from Fandango. I like this poster. I mean, it's fine. It tells you everything you need to know about the movie, like Will Ferrell's the plucky, normal dad, and then you got Mark Wahlberg, who's the tough dad. Which, no, I think Will Ferrell's the stepdad in this movie, because Mark Wahlberg's the deadbeat dad. Okay, it's been a while since I've watched this. I haven't watched it yet at the time of recording this close-up. The spine, Paramount logo, Will Ferrell, Films logo, Mark Wahlberg, 2-disc set, Blu-ray and DVD logos. The back, of course, features a breakdown of everything that's included here. We have The Laughs Keep Coming from Neil Pond at Parade. We have a blurb about the movie, some screenshots from the film. Special features are down there. Your second disc is just a DVD copy of the movie. More screenshots, barcode, digital HD, information, tech specs, legalese, film crew, information, all that down there at the bottom. Open this up, and your discs are just that plain Paramount style of disc. We have gray for the DVD and blue for the Blu-ray. No artwork whatsoever. When this first came out on Blu-ray, it did come with a slipcover. I think I picked this up on a Black Friday sale, because mine doesn't have one, obviously. That wraps up your close-up. Let's move right along to the menu tour. Alrighty, everyone. Here's your menu tour for Daddy's Home. Kind of hard to see that there, but starting off with our DVD. We have an interesting menu set up here with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg standing across from each other. Mark Wahlberg's got on boxing gloves, and Will Ferrell, appropriately, has on kitchen mitts, or oven mitts. But anyway, we have play, setup, scene selection, and previews. No bonus content on this whatsoever. Take a look at setup. There's a version of the poster art here for our setup menu. For audio, we have a 5.1 English mix, a French and Spanish mix, and a English audio description mix. Then for subtitles, English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Jumping over to the scene selection, we have screenshots and numbers for each of the scenes. This is a relatively short movie, so 11 scenes actually makes sense for this. Actually, 10 scenes if you don't count the credits there. Again, this movie barely reaches over 90 minutes. It's relatively short, so 10 scenes, that's all right. That's fine. And I click the previews tab, it just plays the trailers from the beginning of this disc. For what it's worth, the first trailer on it is for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, in case anyone was wondering. And now here's the Blu-ray menu. Same setup, same picture, but we have different options here on the bottom. We have settings, scenes, and extras. For settings, we have a English DTS-X audio mix, a French 5.1 mix, Spanish 5.1, and Portuguese 5.1 mix, a DTS Headphone X audio mix this enables a truly immersive movie experience in any pair of headphones. Okay, we have a mix that is specifically designed for headphones. That's interesting. And then English audio description down there. And for subtitles, we have English, English SDH, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Not surprising, the scenes are the exact same as on the DVD. Same screenshots, same numbers, and everything like that. Now for your extras, we have the making of Daddy's Home, Daddy Off, Daddy Daughter Dance, Halftime Stunt, Tony Hawk's Skater Double. Oh, that's right, Tony Hawk does make a cameo in this movie. I totally forgot about that. Child's Play, Hannibal Buress, The Perfect House Guest, Blooper Jeet Kune Do, and deleted and extended scenes. This is a lot of bonus content for a little movie like Daddy's Home. But damn, that's a lot of bonus content for the making of this movie. I'm very happy with that amount of bonus content. Anyway, that wraps up your menu tour. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. All right, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1. Where can you pick this product up? I haven't seen this movie on store shelves since Black Friday of like 2018, 2019. There's always a lot of movies that for some reason studios produce a heck of a lot of copies of to put on sale around the time of Black Friday. I think of like the Transformers movies, the newer live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films, this movie, Grumpy Cat Saves Christmas or something like that. They always overstock the hell out of those titles on Black Friday, and they just languish in like Walmart's bargain bins. Which is part of the reason why I think Walmart stopped doing their whole Black Friday shtick, or at least having shippers out during actual Black Friday, was because they kept getting stuck with all the garbage that nobody wanted. Who in their right mind is going to buy Grumpy Cat Saves Christmas? Who? So, I'm going to say online retailers for this. I honestly haven't seen it show up at like pawn shops or half-price books or anywhere like that. You're really only going to be able to find it on places like eBay. At least a guaranteed find. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? No, it is not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? A lot of people are wondering why the hell I chose to cover Daddy's Home for home media reviews. This is a movie that I have never talked about in the past. Well, once or twice. Maybe I've mentioned it off and on. It's not a comedy film that I think is particularly clever. I mean, the real reason I chose it to cover here is because its sequel is a Christmas movie, and it feels weird to cover a sequel without covering the original. But beyond that, I kind of wanted to give this movie another chance. I hadn't seen it in years. I think the last time I watched it was probably when I picked it up at that Black Friday sale. I watched it not long after that and put it back on my shelf and hadn't seen it since. So I kind of wanted to give this movie another chance because its premise, yeah, it's a bit absurd. Most comedy films have an absurd premise. The premise here is that Will Ferrell is married to Linda Cardellini, who has 2 kids with her ex-husband, who is played by Mark Wahlberg. Ferrell is the stepfather. He's not really fitting in all that well. He wants so desperately to be a father. Mark Wahlberg shows up out of nowhere and wants to take his kids back, and now it's dad versus stepdad. And this premise leads to some wacky hijinks, let me tell you. I will say this, though. The main cast in the movie, they're all really good. I have no problem with any performances here. Will Ferrell plays any other Will Ferrell character that he's ever played, except for maybe Ricky Bobby. But he's good at his own shtick. He's got that down to a science. It's hard to hate him for it. He knows what he's good at, and he plays to his strengths. Mark Wahlberg gives the best performance in this movie. Hands down, the guy oozes charisma. He's got all the best jokes, the best lines, and the best repartee with the rest of the cast. And he kind of has to be, because in the story, he's the odd man out. He's the one that comes back after years of being away and wants to take his kids back from his ex-wife's husband. Now, you built all this with just my tools? No. You can't build a treehouse with a tampon, Brad. The dynamic between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg is amazing. I love it so much. Wahlberg and Ferrell play off each other so well and make a lot of the groaner jokes seem funnier than they have any right to be. I mentioned earlier, Linda Cardellini is also here. She plays the stereotypical mom role, and she does it well enough. There just isn't much for her to do besides get mad at the 2 dads for messing everything up. To Cardellini's credit, though, she does a good job with the material that she's given to work with, which isn't much, but she does her best. Still talking about the main cast here. Why is Thomas Hayden Church in this movie? Well, actually, let me rephrase that. We know why he's here. He's Thomas Hayden Church. He's a name, of course. He was cast in a role. But what is his role in the overall story? Why exactly does this boss character exist at all? Sure, okay, we'll give Will Ferrell's character a boss to work off of. Okay, fine. Maybe write him some jokes that are funny? He seems to only show up when the plot says that it's necessary and tells unfunny stories that go nowhere. There was one of them about like his ex-wife or something, and probably a prostitute or something that's in there. I don't even remember because it's so unfunny. I just completely flushed that out of my brain. I don't see Thomas Hayden Church as a comedian. And he's certainly trying to be one here with this boss character, but it just isn't working for me. None of his scenes really worked for me when he's just with Will Ferrell, but when Mark Wahlberg is there, he makes Hayden Church seem better in his role. Hannibal Buress makes a glorified cameo appearance in this movie, playing pretty much just Hannibal Buress. I'm actually convinced they didn't have a role for Hannibal Buress in this movie. He just wandered on set, said some funny stuff, and the writers instantly thought up a part for him, because he feels so out of place in this movie. The scene where he and Mark Wahlberg are arguing about Frozen, though, that's pretty good. I'll give him that. It feels very improv-y, and that's probably why it works. The kid actors are also really good here. Dylan, played by Owen Vaccaro, and Megan, played by Scarlett Estevez, they both give great performances. I never once thought they were a child actor. I thought they were just an actor or an actress. I thought they were both great. Megan definitely has the funnier lines and the more emotional storyline with the daddy-daughter dance thing, but Dylan's got some good lines in here too. I especially like their reactions when Mark Wahlberg is telling the story about how the evil step-king broke into the king's house and stole the beautiful prince and princess. Those scenes were really funny. Speaking of funny stuff, most of the jokes work here, but not all of them really make me bust a gut laughing. I feel like I only laughed out loud maybe once or twice in this comedy movie. Comedy is subjective, and what made me laugh might not make you laugh. What didn't make me laugh might make you laugh. The majority of the humor, it does work for me. It gives me at least a little smirk, and that's all right in my book. And I really like the main message of this movie. You can make a blended family work. It just takes a lot of time and effort, but overall, it's worth it in the end. In a world where we prioritize selfish ideas and where traditional families are seen as more of a burden than anything positive, it's refreshing to see a movie promote family as being one of the most important and fulfilling things that you can ever have in life. The movie's also shot very well. It has some good cinematography. It looks very bright. This Blu-ray transfer looks great. And comedy movies are typically shot a little bit brighter to make them seem more appealing to a mass audience's eye. So they look better on Blu-ray. And I fell for it here. It looks great. Daddy's Home as a movie isn't perfect. It's not even that great. But I'd say it's a solidly good movie. It has some clever lines, some fantastic performances from a Mr. Mark Wahlberg, and from the other leads too. And hey, the Blu-ray transfer looks pretty damn great. I can see why, though, this movie didn't exactly set the world on fire. It's a very average comedy film. It doesn't have any, groundbreaking jokes or any jokes that'll make you go, that was a little offensive. It's a safe comedy film, but it is a nice little fun time if you like that kind of thing. It's not the greatest movie ever, and honestly, I'm pretty apathetic towards it, but I'm not going to say it doesn't deserve your time. I may not have loved it, but I certainly didn't hate it. Matter of fact, I'd say I liked it. So by that logic, Daddy's Home deserves a recommendation. Look, it's not gonna set the world on fire. It definitely didn't. It made $240 million at the freaking box office, but nobody talks about it now. And I can see why. There's not a lot to talk about here. It's very straightforward. A dad comes back and sees his stepdad is controlling his kids. He wants his kids back. Blended family works. That's the message of the movie. It's not that sophisticated. There's not a lot to talk about here. But hey, if you ever want a movie to just sit down and turn your brain off to, watch Daddy's Home. You might have a good time with it. That may be the most damning recommendation I've ever given a movie. I don't hate this movie. I think it's fine. I just don't think it's anything too special. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Yeah, same answers as number 1. Maybe if you find it in a half-price books or something, that might be cool. And number 5, what price should you pay? This thing ain't worth very much. DVD and Blu-ray, probably worth about the same, $5-10 for those. The 4K, though? Tell you what, we're going to do some on-the-board market research here. Daddy's Home 4K. Searching this on eBay right now. Wow, okay, yeah, the 4K is definitely worth way more than the actual Blu-ray. People are trying to sell this for $25 to $30, but is that what it's actually selling for? Let's take a look at the sold listings. Oh, damn, there was one that sold the other day for $9.99. I wish I would have grabbed that. Yeah, it sells anywhere from around $18 to $25, the 4K of this movie. That's if it doesn't have a slipcover. So yeah, $18 to $25 sounds about right. Well, guys, that wraps up your home media review for Daddy's Home. I'm not upset that I reviewed this movie for home media reviews. I just kind of wish that it was more memorable. I wish it was better, I guess, is really where I'm coming down on this. Because if it was better, if it had something about it that was more than just simple comedic premise, then maybe I wouldn't feel like I kind of wasted a slot here for home media reviews. Because I really want to cover this sequel, because I think the sequel's better than the first one. Oh, hey, I just found out. If you want to watch the first Daddy's Home, it's on Paramount Plus, streaming right now. So you know what? You got 90 minutes? Check it out. It might be worth your time. Come back next week, though, because we're covering Daddy's Home 2. And like I said earlier, I think the sequel's better than the first one, because I'm kind of a sucker for Christmas movies. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, check back next week. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will catch you all next time. Good night, everybody.